Welcome to another edition of YatlifeChronicles. Here we have with us again our favorite friend, Doggy, once again on the show. I wanted Doggy to come in again today, and I wanted us to shed some light on the compatibility of relationships and why it's best to build compatible relationships with people. Why is it good to have a compatible relationship with your mate? Why is it good to have compatible relationships at your job? Why is it good to have compatible relationships in the field that you are in order for you to be able to advance your agenda or building compatible relationships as to where people can help bridge the gap on wherever you're trying to go or get to. So that's what me and Doggy want to break down today is the compatibility of relationships and why it's so important and why we need compatible relationships with people. So, Doggy, I wanted to ask you is that why are compatible relationships so important for us to have?
For me, compatible relationships is important because if you don't have a compatible relationship, you create an unfair advantage for one side more so than the other. You know what I mean? If you got somebody in a relationship that's taken and somebody that's not really a giver, then that's a incompatible relationship. Some people are just givers. Like you see relationships where a person just give. You see a relationship where a person just take. If it's two givers, that's fine. But if it's a taker and not a giver, that's not fine because it's gonna be unfair.
Parasite, man.
Yeah.
My fans know good a
I call them
parasite.
leeches. I call them leeches.
Leeches, right.
An old cat told me before. Matter of fact, I think we was in the bean. He said, be careful feeding leeches because if you feed a leech, all you're gonna do is create a bigger leech.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's gonna get stronger. His suction gonna get stronger, and the things that he need from you, the things that he pull from you, is gonna be stronger, and it don't benefit you. You know.
Right. So with the compatibility of relationships, because a lot of people, so we do have a lot of incompatible relationships as far as that. The incompatible relationships do become a form of dependency sometimes.
Definitely.
Like you said, because we with this person for this particular thing, because for an identity. We with this person because the sex good. We with this person because this person can give us the fame, or this person can help us get to where we need to be as far as stair-stepping up them levels to our goal or our dream or whatever it is.
Which is nothing wrong with that.
But in the same sense, it's like whatever I'm using you for, once that something dies down, then the relationship dies well. And I tell a lot of people, if you build a relationship off sand, then soon as it go through the first dilemma, the first issue that it go through, it's a sandcastle, it's gonna fall. So if you don't build relationships, and I'm not just speaking about partners and marriages, I'm talking about friends and things in this situation too. If you don't build relationships off true and genuine love, then the relationship is a sandcastle. If it's built off money, if it's built off support, if it's built off dependency, if it's built off anything outside of genuine love, then it's built on the sandcastle. So when you and this person have a situation or a negative event that y'all go through, y'all not gonna be able to get through it because I'm not with you genuinely because I love you. I'm with you for I'm only with you because of what you can do for me. And that's how relationships are not able to cross over when people fall out with each other. We're not able to say, hey, I was wrong, you was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Man, I accept responsibility for what I did. Let's move on. Because that's what a compatible relationship is. It's not built on anything outside of genuine love. So at the end of the day, I can't come to you with nothing else but love, especially when I'm wrong. And then the next day, I don't want to wake up having angry at nobody, being mad at anybody, having different grudges with somebody, because at the end of the day, I'm taking away from myself. Because all that negative energy I don't have. There's no way. There's no void for me to put anything positive in there. You know. So I wanted to talk to Doggy about marriages and relationships these days. It seemed like the courthouse is full of divorces. Relationships are broken. I mean, the compatibility of relationships today are not what it used to be.
No, not at all.
You know, so what are some of the things that make solid relationships these days?
Understanding a relationship, understanding what you're in it for. Like some people get in relationships for love, and those really to be the relationships that fall the first. That fail first. Truthfully, a marriage, when you're thinking about a marriage and anything like that, is a business.
Right.
To be all the way honest, it's a business. Now,
Right.
the love is always a bonus, but
Right.
if I'm gonna be with you for the rest of my life, how do we fit together? Right.
And this and right, this is your business partner.
It's your
Relationship, same way, you know, because you got people been in relationships forever. They might as well be married, but your partner is your business partner. You know, that's your first business partner. That's who you talk your ideas, your visions, and your dreams to, and that's the one that's gonna be there to listen to help you create them.
Whether
You know.
now, I don't want people to get it wrong. Your partner don't have to be business savvy, right? You may be business savvy. Your partner don't have to be business savvy, but if your partner job, you know what your partner job is. Your partner know what your job is. If your partner job is just to make sure when this man come home from work and he been doing all this work and putting all these business ideas together, when he comes home to a home. That may be her job. You know, or that may even be his job. Not my type of thing, but that may even be his job. You know, as long as everybody know what their job is, things run a whole lot smoother. That's part of the business. Like,
So what about the partners who don't invest themselves into their other partner's dreams and goals? And I've seen that incompatibility so much as to where, okay, we merge our lives together, but as far as how we hustle, as far as how we work, things we do, it don't coincide with the other party's personality. So what can you say to my fans out there who are incompatible with their partner as far as being able to assist with their partner's dreams and goals and visions when the partner is sitting there talking about it, you know, and things of this nature?
when I was younger, I used to look at those situations like a slap in the face. You know, she not paying attention to my ideas. I don't think she really care. Now I'm a little older and a little more mature. I look at it like, know your partner. Know who you're dealing with, know your partner, understand it, and know if you can deal with it. If you can deal with it, then cool. If it still can fit into your program, cool. No, everybody don't have to be in love with your idea as long as they do their part of what they're supposed to do. It is definitely a bonus. And every man want to come home and be able to throw his ideas at his woman. She got some good stuff to say. Sometimes some females aren't built that way.
So when you come home and you come home to a partner who's so invested into their self and what they got going on, how do we get our partners to help us with the things that we're trying to do?
Man, I've been in that situation where she just wouldn't.
Right.
I've been in that situation where she didn't. So this is what I had.
Is it because they don't understand, or because sometimes I've seen it where some partners thought that it may be jealousy and didn't want the one partner to grow to a certain level, so that partner didn't really give the assistance that was supposed to be given, because I didn't want to see you exceed no further than me. But if we a team, if we together, if I succeed, you succeed, right?
Yeah, that's true, but it's not a cut and dry answer to it. Like in some cases, people be hating. Other cases, people just not built that way. You know what I mean? Like, and I try my best to understand who's built a certain way. If somebody is not, I have to let them be them. Because if every time I try to force somebody to open their eyes to certain things, I mess things up. You know, and I don't mean to do it. I just be looking at it from my point of view and my experience and things I've seen. I said, well, that ain't how they go. This is how they go right here. You know, baby, you're supposed to be involved in this.
Right.
And they get resentful. You know, once they get resentful, they get ornery and
it's more, you're doing more tearing down than building up.
Exactly. And they begin to tear down, not because they want to, but because they had this anger that they resented you because you keep pointing at them that they're not doing what they're supposed to do. and now they doing more damage to what you trying to do than
Right.
good. So now I try, and it's a struggle to accept people for who they are, right? This is who this person
Right.
is. I love this person for who that they are and know how to deal with that person. This is my old lady. I know she's not involved in these type of things. If I'm willing to accept her, then I got to deal with the fact that she's not involved in these type of things. So I don't need to bounce my ideas off of her. I have to find somebody else to bounce my ideas off of. If this is where I'm taking this, you
Right.
follow what I'm saying? If I can deal with this, if I can't, if I need a type of female that I can bounce my ideas off of, I got to be honest with myself and say this is not the one.
Right.
And that goes to everybody.
So to do that hurts the relationship, or do
Definitely.
that strengthens it?
It hurts your relationship if you realize that she's not ready for that. If you realize and accept she's not ready for that, and you need her to be, then that hurts the relationship because you can't be with her. You
Right.
have to be.
And you
what
can't
fits
force
her.
a person to do something that they just not want to do or ready to do.
It's not her, It's not
Right.
her, or it's not him, or whatever the case may be. So if you try to do that, then that's gonna hurt the relationship.
So in this world today, right, we got all these power couples, all these power relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So shouldn't we be matching ourselves up with partners that can make us more powerful?
If that is our goal, if that is what we strive to be, some
Okay.
people not. I've seen some people more happier sitting on the couch being what I may consider as nothing.
Right.
To them, they consider they feel like they're living their dream, they're living their life. I'm struggling, I'm going through ups and downs and chaotic situations, bad business deals and all of this. And they sit on the couch watching Love and Happy, whatever.
Right.
I don't even know what comes on TV, that's how much TV I
Right.
watch. Whatever it is, they sitting there watching that and they are happy.
Right.
So it all depends on the person that you're dealing with and what their goals is. If your goal is to reach the top and you understand politics, so when we speaking on relationships now, and I just want to say this. Everybody always wanted to know what politics was, right? What's politics? It's not a big scientific thing. Politics is literally just relationships. It's just it's something called quid pro quo. You scratch my back, I scratch your back.
Right.
That's politics, right? So you may meet a guy and he can do something for you, and you can do something for him. That's politics, and that people build relationships on that, and they be some of the best relationships in the world. I don't mind meeting a guy that he can do something for me, and I can do something for him. I don't mind even being used. You follow what I'm saying? I don't mind being used. I mind being misused.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? I don't mind if somebody use me, so
Right.
I can use you, so we can
right.
get to where we gotta go.
Right.
When you start misusing me, that's when we got the problem.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right,
Like,
right.
if you're not using me, I'm looking at you like, dog, I'm here.
Right, exactly.
Why aren't you using
right,
me? Like, I can get this
right,
done.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, but that's almost a slap in the face, especially when you a type of person like me, because I give. I don't mind giving, as long as it don't get in my way to give.
Right.
I'm not giving if you get in my way.
Right.
So if anybody expects that, like,
Right.
if I'm dealing with a chick or a brother, hey, won't you get in your own way and give me? Nah, I'm not gonna do that. But what I will do is something that's easy. I can give you the system.
Right.
What I got going on. Don't misuse. You know what I mean? So
I got you.
If a female or a dude or whoever, you know
you utilize you, but don't misuse.
Yeah, utilize me.
I
Let's
got
get
you.
there. And
So Doggy, how you feel about being open with people? And we have a lot of people today it's hard for them to come out that shell.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people been closed minded. A lot of people been just dealing with themselves and, the people in their house as far as their partner and kids and things of that nature. And they want to push their agenda in life with their brand and their business and be an entrepreneur. So how do they get to the point as to where they can start opening up more to the world and start being more sociable? Mm-hmm. And I'm not just saying on social media, because it's easy to sit there in social media and be sociable with people. But what I'm saying is getting out into the community, getting out into the environment, being able to push their agenda on their business, being able to getting out talking to people and, these different things. So how do I get out of that mindset, that frozen mindset of not being sociable to being sociable to developing compatible relationships with people so that I can move forward in life?
a lot of people haven't been groomed with social skills. Some people just haven't been groomed with those social skills, but they have these ideas, especially looking at how things is going right now. They have these ideas and these desires to want to do certain things with social media or stardom, whatever kind of stardom, right? They want to.
Is being on social media every day social skills?
No, being on social media every day is not social skills.
Right.
But it's needed though if you want to boost your brand. Right. To get on there, it's not social skills, but to get these people to start following you and going on.
So you actually have to be in touch with, physically be in touch with people to have social skills.
You got to. Right. So what I would say is for somebody that doesn't have the wherewithal to accumulate those skills on their own, they are real courses, cheap courses that if somebody want to go and check. I mean, we learned it from being us in the world.
Right.
Some people didn't go through that path, right? So some people have been sheltered and stuck in certain situations. So if for those people who just want to have it and don't have it, don't know where to get it from, there are real courses. There are public speaking courses that help you out. There are, I mean, I because this question just came out of, I wasn't prepared for this question. You guys get my drift. Like, it's different courses that you can go to learn how to be more social. And you might have to accumulate something, like I say, public speaking and this and that, and then put all these courses together.
So when we out in the community, and we've been in this closed mind state for so long, and we want to build a business, we want to build a brand, and we haven't been sociable, we haven't been compatible with people, we haven't been a people's person. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the things that we can do outside our house as far as when we running into different people? You know, when we seeing them in the community, when we seeing them at the airport, when we seeing them at the grocery store and things of that nature. I mean, you know, because sometimes at the grocery store, I can just push my cart, get my groceries and go. But I had a conversation with a guy the other day and I needed some graphics design done. And we was just standing in line waiting, and he's well 23, white kid, and we started talking, and I started the conversation, but as we went on, he was able to fill me in on what he do, graphics design, this and that, and I was looking for a graphics designer, and I was able to get his number, and now we are able to do some business together. You know, so I want you to tell my fans how important it is, like when you're in the environment, when you're in the community, to be able to be sociable with people, to be able to talk to people in a certain way as to where it don't have to be flirtatious, it don't have to be anything derogatory, but just a fraternizing conversation.
Before I tell you how important it is to do it, let me say this, how easy it is to do it. Remember, you are your brand. You are your brand all day long. You are pushing a brand all day long. That right there won't allow you to let any opportunity pass you by. If you're passionate about your brand, then you're passionate about people knowing what your brand is. You're passionate about finding out what somebody else can do to help push your brand. Right. You in the grocery store and you're in a line and you hear a conversation, and it's not necessarily eavesdropping, but you got something to push. So you hear a conversation behind you and they mention one thing about what you have going on. Now your ears are standing up. It's supposed to be. You're passionate about what you do. You know what I mean? You're passionate about what you do. I used to shoot semi-pro pool. I'm not no good now, but this was some years ago. And I had come to learn that pool was a dominantly European game, right? Mostly all white people there. I never seen a black person on TV, anything like that. I knew some pros, and at the time I was back in games, and it was just local games or whatever the case may be, and they were telling me to come and go to the big game, like where the big leagues at. So the first time I get there, the setting was just so awkward. I hadn't been off the porch, really.
Right, exactly.
So I'm in here, and I'm seeing all these big wigs, and I'm like the only dark face in here, you know. The first time I really just wanted to get out of there. I really that's just me being honest. I was young. Let me get out. I just feel uncomfortable. I'm from the hood. You know, I ain't never seen no stuff like this. I went to the crib. Once I left, I went to the crib and I gave myself a pep talk. And I realized if I want to be involved in that, because what my whole idea was, I was going to create a YouTube channel with pro players.
Okay.
And you know, try to get a real Netflix or whatever the case may be. What was going on at the time, I can't remember. But I gave myself a pep talk and told myself that if I want to learn the lingo, I got to go to where they talk it. You know what I mean? If I want to learn the lingo, I got to put myself in those situations. You know, and I started doing that, and I started feeling a whole lot more comfortable.
Right.
You know? I start understanding things that I didn't understand before, and how the politics in those settings went.
Right.
And I took that same skill and traveled with it across the board of everything I've done. So
Right.
that's what I say. Put yourself in those situations where they talk the lingo, whatever you talk. Whether you just got to go and be quiet. If you
Right.
got to go to a free seminar or a paid seminar, go to the bar where I'm that type of person. Like, I will find out somebody that I'm looking for, somebody that has the knowledge that is accessible to me. I will find out where they party at.
And it's so good to have personality, because when you have personality, you attract people. I was telling my friend the other day about Snoop, and I was telling him about Snoop got so much personality to the point where he just keep pushing the agenda and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And his face is everywhere because he have a beautiful personality. How important is it to have a pleasing personality when you're dealing with people, and try not to have any friction,
A standoffish
any
personality.
friction when you're dealing with people, you know what I'm saying, so that you can be able to push your agenda as far as your entrepreneurship is concerned.
It is definitely, especially if you're anywhere between the bottom and the middle. If you at the top, you can do what you want to do. The guy that I seen at the top that was arrogant, and his arrogance helped him, was a Damon Dash. You follow what I'm saying? Like, Damon Dash was already at the top. He had Jay-Z. He can be arrogant to whoever, and that gave them the strength, the backbone they need to make it further. Snoop, on the other hand, was a guy who, no offense to Snoop, shout out to Snoop, in my opinion, didn't have any necessarily set skills. He lost his skills years ago. He was a great rapper. That died down, and now he just had to be a hustler. He was just a hustler. He kept recreating himself. Just, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. And I respected that. Him, on the other hand, had to have a personality. He didn't have a rapper like Jay-Z or somebody like that was pushing their brand. So he got to have something special. So he came up with this. Here's the good thing about Snoop and the funny thing about Snoop. Just to speak on Snoop. Snoop was a gangbanger that had beat a murder case.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
and we forget about that.
Yeah, because he recreated
his personality, right? He recreated himself several times.
So many times.
And that's so important for us as human beings, is that, when we active and we alive, we have to stay recreating our personality. We have to stay recreating who we are. We have to stay engaged in everything that help us to be universal, because we don't want to be one-dimensional. We don't want to be stagnant. We always want to place new information in our mind. We always want to be able to broaden our thoughts and broaden our horizons so that we don't get into that concrete mindset. And personality is so important, because your attitude determines your what? Your altitude, right? So, and I know it's hard for a lot of people to have compatible relationships because of their attitude, and because of different things that they let move them, to be poignant in their life. So, can you tell my viewers out there, what kind of attitude do we need in order to be able to move our agenda, to be able to push our brand, to be able to move our, push the envelope?
For me, one of the biggest things, two of the biggest things that you're going to need is you're going to need patience. You're going to need patience, and you're going to need to learn how to be non-judgmental.
All right. That is so important, being non-judgmental.
Yeah, you got to be non-judgmental.
Right.
A lot of times you're going to hear things, see things. People are going to present things to you that is not your forte. You got to be non-judgmental, because at the end of the day, you have one goal: push your brand. Whatever your brand is.
Right.
You got one goal: push your brand and push it how you need it to be pushed. And you can't do that being judgmental, because you're going to start pushing people out that can be instrumental.
So you can't have those biases and those prejudices and things in your head that's going to make you judgmental.
Because what do they matter?
Right.
The only thing that matters is what your goal is.
Exactly.
And if you got your goal set to what you're trying to do, that's what you should be paying attention to. If your eyes is anywhere else, you drop the ball. You don't have your eye on the ball. You know what I mean? Keep your eye on the ball, and you will be okay. People come to you and they say something and it don't align with what you're trying to do. Cool. I see what you're trying to do. That's a good idea.
So what are So can you tell my viewers, okay, so we wake up with a bad attitude. Sometimes we let this attitude galvanize us to the point where we have a bad attitude throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, we can't build compatible relationships because everybody we bumping into, we actually break it down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and people seeing us in this way, we wearing this attitude on our sleeve. So how can we change that attitude? So say for instance, if I wake up, I'm mad at the world and this and that, but I still got to go out and conquer the world every day. How can I change this attitude? How can I change the
That's a good
channel
question.
on this attitude?
That's a good question. That's a great
Instead
question.
of walking through the whole day mad, angry.
That's one of the best questions I've heard in a long time, and I think to be able to change that attitude is you have to accept responsibility. The reason most people be mad is because something didn't work out how they wanted it to work out. Somebody not doing what they want them to do. You have to accept the responsibility for what part you played in whatever circumstances that ended up being what it was. Once you do that, you don't have to be so mad because you know this is how I got here. This is how the situation ended up what it is. What do I do to fix it instead of just being angry at it? You know what I mean? I'm one of the coolest, you know that. Like I rarely get mad. You know what I mean? If I get mad, it's either by design or something that's going down too fast
Right.
to have absolutely no control over. But I try to stay level headed because I don't have the energy to be mad at a situation.
Right.
You know, I can't fix it. I remember I used to be in the streets long time ago. Used to be in the streets and I would be mad at people because they owed me some money. So a dude would owe me some money and I would take out all kind of time to hunt this dude down to find out where my money is. Problem is I left everything hanging that was
the whole empire.
The whole empire.
Right.
Because
the whole empire burning up while you out looking for one client.
Man, dancing in the burning room.
Right.
Dancing in the burning room. So I'm looking for people and everything is falling apart and I'm just thinking that this is going to fix the problem. I'm finding this dude, teach him I'm not playing, whatever the case may be. And it always was bad. Then one day I was talking to the OG and the OG was like, man, listen, man, them people going to be there. He told me, like, you go chasing behind these people, man, you're going to mess up everything you got going on.
Right.
They got to do the running,
exactly.
right? You stick to what you got going on by time. The time that it would take you to find this guy and try to get your money out this guy, you would have made that money 10 times fold if you just stick to the the script. You know what I mean?
Right.
So ever since then, that's what I've been on no matter what it is. I don't have the energy to be mad.
So you able to turn your so you to the point now where you're able to turn your attitude on and off.
Yeah.
You know how to control it.
I promise you, I really got that mastered.
And
for the most part, now it was something that happened that it's just they got to be total disrespect though, or I'm in danger. You know what I mean? Total disrespect or I'm in danger. Other than that, I mean, I know whatever my agenda is. My agenda may not be nothing but let's just sit back and kick it with some chicks. For instance, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, whatever my agenda is, I know what my agenda is, and if it go bold, then all right. You know what I mean? Like I don't have time to
worry about this or worry about that. Get mad because this happened.
I wake up in the morning trying to figure out what messed up because of it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, what and then I try to figure out what I got to do to fix it.
Okay.
Because I got an agenda.
Right.
I have something I'm trying to get done. I have a goal that I'm trying to get done, and my only thing is how can I fix it? Worried about it happening, and that's where people, especially in relationships,
we just can't waste our time on attitudes when we trying to push our agenda, push our brand, and trying to reach certain goals in life. And the reason I say that because we can't give people that much control over us. You know, people have that much control over us as to where we're mad at them the whole day. We dedicated our whole day to being mad at somebody else. No gain, no profit, no monetary, no nothing. You know, so let's not be stupid. You know what I'm saying? We have to worry about us, constantly keep the things in our area, in our mind, that's going to push us forward.
And get you some business. You know what I mean? Like, everybody get y'all some business. If y'all have time to be mad, even your mate, if you got time to be mad at your mate, you need to get you some business because at the end of the day, when you realize that most of the time in relationships, homeboys or chicks or whatever the case may be, people are mad because the other person didn't do what they thought they should have did.
Right.
You don't have no control over nobody. I don't care your husband, your wife, your homeboy, nobody.
Right.
Nobody has control over nobody. You know what I mean? So
Right.
if my lady don't do what I wanted her to do, I'm trying to figure out how to get it done first and foremost. I need
Right.
this done.
Exactly.
Before I'm even gonna get mad at you, I
Yeah,
still need this done.
right. No
You know
matter what, I still
yeah, I
need this
still
done.
need that.
So how important it is for us to get to know our partner and be able to put our partner out there in certain situations as to where we can go get to know our partner. You know, just we're gonna take our partner to the strip club, maybe see if she like women. We're gonna
Yeah.
take our partner, here, or we're gonna do things with our
Explore.
partner, explore to see exactly who we dealing with.
Yep.
You have to get to know the person that you're dealing with every day.
And don't let them just tell you. You know what I mean? Don't let them just tell you who they are.
Right.
If everybody, I urge you, if you are letting people tell you who they are, you're going to fail in that relationship. If you're not willing to explore every chance you get to see exactly what the brother was saying, what am I dealing with? Then you're gonna fail. I promise you, 100% of the time you are going to fail because 100% of the time you are dealing with a person's representative. Every time you meet somebody, it's a period.
Words are their representative. Huh?
They are, so you never meet them.
Okay.
You meet their representative, and you deal with
Right.
their representative until they get into so
Right.
many situations where they.
And you know what? I learned that too, because when I was locked up, right, where guys used to ride in, they'll come in with this one mask when they ride in the joint, right? And you would think this guy like this. So as time going on, 2 weeks, attitude started changing, real person started coming out. 3 weeks, get a little more deeper into who they are. 4 weeks, you look at them, they real person, now they done showed you who they really are. So you can never accept a person for who they are just off the bat. You have to watch a person, you have to see how a person moves, So what basically Doggy is saying is that we got to watch a person's foot, because people dress words up to make them sound good all the time. So what we have to do is watch a person's feet. So as we building up socially compatible relationships in this world, we have to be open about what it is we trying to do. As far as the agenda we trying to push, when we running into different people in these higher positions, different people that can help us, we have to open our mouths and we have to get to know people. We can't be caught up in that world of solitude as to that we're not being sociable. Because at the end of the day, people is the link that's going to get us to where we need to be. They are the links to the chain. In order for us to build a strong chain, we got to be with the right links. So let's link up with the right people. Let's have some, good sociable, compatible relationships in our life as to where, it's being able to assist us in moving our agenda, pushing our brand, whatever envelope it is in life that we trying to push. Make sure that the relationships that we have with people and we dealing with people are compatible. Be careful of the incompatible relationships you in, because those are the relationships that may hurt you down the line. Those red flags that you constantly seeing, those files that you constantly seeing, those questions that you keep asking yourself, and you can't get comfortable with incompatibility because you can only go so far. You can only go so far with incompatible people. So today on Y'all Life Chronicles, I want y'all to have compatible relationships with people. Be compatible with your partner. Get to know your partner. Invest yourself into the time and getting to know your partner interests, your partner goals. Because like Doggy said, if you're not going to help your partner with his or her dreams or goals, then somebody else will. But these things will get met. So what I'm saying is that we all have to be universal. And what I mean by that, even when you're helping your partner and your friend or family member build their dreams up, you learning at the same time. You being able to take that, what you didn't learn, helping them, and you can apply that to your own thing of what you're doing. So before we get out of here, Doggy, give me your last take on socially compatible relationships that we need to be able to build our brand, be able to build us up, and be able to move us forward in life financially, individually, and going out there and conquering the world.
Okay, for me, I would answer that with a few words. Keep your eye on the prize. Whatever your brand is, whatever your goal is, keep your eye on the prize. Worry about that. Nobody have time to get angry. Nobody have time to be judgmental. When you have something, you got you some business, you got you something that you need to get done, then you have something to pay attention to. Paying attention to anything else costs you. Paying attention to you pay you.
Right.
Paying attention to your goals pay you. Paying attention to anything else costs you. And you will have a much more happier life if you learn to accept people for who they are. Put them in don't put them in the place in your life. Allow them to place themselves where they belong in your life. You're gonna know where they belong by the things that they do. If you meet a female who is ready to back you on every idea that you have, then she put herself in that position. You meet a female who's not, then she put herself in that position. Of course, or male. Of course, you want to help your situation. You're going to try to groom that person. If they are able to groom, then cool. If they are not, cool. Stick to your guns, stick to your goals, keep your eye on your prize, and shoot your shot.
Okay. All right. That's another edition on Yacht Life Chronicles. We thank Doggy for coming in again today. You know, it's always a blessing, you know, to be in his presence. So let's build socially compatible relationships. And I know sometimes a lot of relationships that we be in be outdated. You know, they so incompatible. And we have to realize that. And sometimes we have to move ourselves out those relationships. Relationships, friendships, situationships, whatever the case may be. Because these stale relationships keep us at a certain level in life. It keep us flying at a certain level in life. It seemed like we could never get over this certain hump because we dealing with people that's incompatible to our life. So let's wake up, y'all, and let's build more sociably compatible relationships with people. You know, sometimes you have to move on from people you're not incompatible with. You know, you can't keep questioning yourself. You got to be real. You have to face reality, you know, and sometimes you have to move on. But for the ones that are compatible out there and the ones that have compatible relationships, shout out to y'all. Hope y'all keep building, grow stronger every day, and, you know, build something tall. So at the end of the day, this is another edition of Yacht Life Chronicles. We enjoyed y'all tuning in. Thank you once again. You can catch me on YouTube at Yacht Life Chronicles. You catch me on Instagram, Yacht Life 96, and you can catch me on Facebook at Fortitude Yacht Life. And Doggy, give us your information right quick.
You can catch me on. I don't have a lot of that. He got a whole lot of stuff going on. I want to have all that, but I'm just I'm on Facebook. Donald
Give me
Jones,
an IG.
Instagram Donald Jones 7366. Email klevy0823, or you can look up Trading Hammers for Hammers on your email. We got the record label. We got the music out, Scales to Eastside Pusha Boy Scoop. So everybody go on any streaming site and look up Scales to SCALESTA. What else? That's really it. We got the book coming. And me and Yacht, we're going to write us a book called For Preschool to Prison Pipeline. We got a lot of...
This been in the making for a while, too. Me and Doggy was supposed to write this book, From Preschool to the Prison Pipeline. I hear it's another one out there, though, but it ain't going to be like ours.
No, it's not going to be
like ours. It ain't going to be like ours, man.
The one that's out there, they you know, it's more than one out there from the research I did. But all of those type of books, they concentrate on one category. You know, with all the stuff we know and all the stuff we've been building on, we're going to connect the dots that nobody
exactly
was able to connect.
We're going to go deep. We're going to go deep.
And we're going to go deep, and we're going to go from so many different directions in so many areas, and then we're going to show how they all work.
What we want to find out is what happened to these schools in Michigan, you know, so like I said, we're going to get into that. You know, there's a lot more to come. You guys stay tuned in. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is another edition of Yacht Life Chronicles. We'll see you again on the next episode. Thank you.